I'm gonna shoot a video talking about one of the most stressful time I ever had in my life when I was training uh, amateur MMA fighter, and basically it was really stressful not because of anything outside of the gym, but the way I had to train this guy. Basically, he got kicked out of one gym, and he had a title fight coming up, and the promoter called me up and asked me to take him in and train him for this upcoming fight. And they were gonna give him some money because he was broke, and he promised to give me some money for it. And amateur fighters are not supposed to get paid, but you can kind of skirt that issue if you get like sponsorship and stuff. So, anyways, they were gonna sponsor him and you know give him some money. So, but the problem with this fighter was that he had visions of grandeur. You know, he thought he was better than what he was, and he thought his skill was very good when he wasn't. He had a title fight because he was knocking people out the first round in his first couple of amateur fights, but he was fighting guys who were horrible to begin with, and the amateur MMA scene and sometimes can be really crazy. Sometimes there's just so many promoters or promotion putting on fights that they're desperate for people to fight on their show. So but they also need title fights to draw in the crowd. So they will offer title fights left and right. And if you just happen to have a winning streak or you're a little bit exciting to watch, they'll throw you in there, right? So, anyways, I was training him, and the problem is that this guy lacked discipline. He would not work out on his own. At that time, he didn't have a car, so I would have to drive by to pick him up. I had to drive by his house to pick him up, and it was 20 minutes from my gym, and it was a total pain in the ass. And he didn't work, so he had all the time in the world to train. And ironically, he didn't train. Like, he did not train at all. He just slept on the couch, his friend's couch, didn't work, and he lived across, like literally, like a block down from a school. And he could have went across the street and jog, do road work, go use the playground, and like use the monkey bar, like to do chin up or squats, whatever. There's so much stuff he could do. Wouldn't do it. And when he comes to the gym, he was so physically weak that he could like work the mitts with me. And when he did work the mitts, there was so much fundamental problems with his mitt work, and he would gas out and everything. And he was just basically, he was a vampire. He sucked the shit out of me. Basically, after training, he wouldn't have any money, so I'll give him money for food and shit like that. And now, granted, after the fight, he did give me some money, like maybe $150. But I spent 2.5 months of my life, almost 3 months, training this guy, and it was a nightmare. He fought once and literally got knocked out within 20 seconds. Like the guy threw a punch and it didn't even land cleanly. He just fell to the ground and went into a fetal position. That just shows you how mentally weak this person was. And it didn't even connect. And then a month later, another promoter gave him a fight. And usually I ask all my fighters to go through me first, and I get to decide if they should fight or not. I kind of manage the career. But this guy went behind my back, took the fight, then convinced me to train him to fight. And once again, it went, did not train consistently, whatever. It was a month after he lost his the fight that just happened, and he got knocked out, like literally just knocked the crap out, like just mentally broke down. And when I say people are mentally weak, the mentally weak does not just happen overnight. It happens on a gradual basis. And you're mentally weak if you're not disciplined. If you don't get up in the morning or stay up late at night to train. If you don't lift weights, if you don't spar hard, if you don't train hard, if you don't hit the focus mitt hard. This guy was flabby, like freaking flabby. All right, he was out of shape. He was flabby. Just mentally weak, undisciplined, very lazy. And the other thing was he liked the fame or the lifestyle of an MMA fighter, but did not live that lifestyle. So what I mean is, you will have guys who wear MMA clothing, have tattoos, have goatees, tell everyone they're MMA fighter, but they hate training, hate learning, hate going to the gym. You know what I mean? And these fucking dumb girls fall for that. They're so stupid. They fall for these guys who look like MMA fighters, but they're not. You know what I mean? They're just so mentally weak. I was on Facebook. I was reading this post, and these people are asking, "Can you size someone up if they know how to fight or not?" And I read somewhere, and I've seen it many times, that 99% of the population won't know how to fight properly. What I mean is they won't know how to clinch up properly, throw a punch properly, take someone down properly, fight on the ground properly. Okay? A lot of guys and females have visions of grandeur. They think they're better than they are. And how you prevent that is you stay humble and you're always learning, always be with other people who are better than you. Now, if you don't have access to that, then you make sure you have a pipeline to that knowledge, either through videos, YouTube videos, books, going to seminars, or just going to, or expose yourself and see that, holy shit, I didn't know this, I didn't know this, I didn't know this. There's so much shit I don't know, right? And basically, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. And that's the reality. And so, this guy just didn't get that. You know, he would come up to me and goes, Mom, you don't believe in me. You don't believe in me. It's like, fuck off. Of course I don't believe in you, because you prove otherwise, that you're not trustworthy. You know what I mean? You don't have the work ethic. You're lazy. One little hit, my fighter Evander, they would do wrestling. My fighter Evander would throw him, and he landed on his fucking back and couldn't get up. It's like, fucking get up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he threw you. You're so mentally and physically weak that when he threw you, you can get up. It wasn't even a big throw. It was an uchimata. You know what I mean? Like, inner thigh throw, you know? And that's what happens. And so, why am I shooting this video? Well, a couple of things happened. 5 years ago, my fighter Evander had an eye injury, so he couldn't really train. And so I didn't really have anyone I was training for a title belt. And so at that time, my gym didn't have any title belts. You know, I knew I was close to getting a title belt with Evander, but you know, he was busy with school and stuff. And so this promoter came up to me and offered this guy to train and possibly my gym get a title belt. So basically, one thing that you got to be careful in life is easy money or easy fame, right? People will come up to you and say, hey, do this, and it's easy payday. It's not easy, right? You have to earn it hard. And I didn't train this guy from the ground up, and I believe in this promoter. I thought this guy was legit, and he wasn't. His skill was nowhere there. His ground game was nowhere there. His striking game was nowhere there. He wrestled in high school, and I found out later on that he was very undisciplined in high school. His wrestling skill was nowhere there. You know what I mean? And so that's one thing, is do not fall for easy money. Someone comes up to you and say, hey, do this, it's easy. It's like, no, it's not easy. You know, especially if it's a flash in the pants type of thing. Never chase after fame. You know, at that time, I wanted to win a belt for my gym because I didn't have any belt at my gym yet. And my gym is really small, and I thought, okay, here's an opportunity. This guy will train with me for 2.5 months and, you know, win a belt for me. And it was just a nightmare, all right? Also, stay away from people who do not contribute. You know, this guy did not contribute at all financially, emotionally. He would come to the gym, right, my gym, and I would do a personal training session with someone. I do like fitness personal training, and he would fucking just sit on the couch and just veg. Okay, in my gym, there's so much things you can do. Like, you can pick up, you can walk around and tidy up, mop the mat, mop the floor, clean the bathroom. Won't do any of that. He'll just fucking sit there and veg. You know, he will not contribute. You know, like, if you have no money to pay for your gym membership, then fucking contribute. Like put in some money, or put in some time, or volunteer to do something, you know? And it shows that this guy is very elitist. You know, when you know if someone's really humble, I read it before, I haven't really seen it. I think I've seen it once when I was in high school. My manager would actually fucking take the toilet scrub and clean the bathroom. Okay, he would go and clean the bathroom, right? And in the Bible, right, Jesus said, Jesus washed his disciples' feet, and he said, listen, back then the feet were considered really dirty, and it was the lowest of the low job. So when you are a rich person, you will come home, your feet is aching, your feet smells, it's dirty. It is your servant, but not just any servant. The servant of the lowest on the totem pole will get a bucket of water, and he will wash your feet and massage your feet. You know what I mean? And I think that's how you know if someone's humble. It's like, they have no money to train, but they want you to train them so they can be a champion. But they feel like, you know what, I gotta contribute back. So they'll do something for you. They will, mop the floor for you or something. And very rarely have I seen that. I have not seen. I see it maybe once in a while. And so I'll tell you a story. When I moved from Vancouver to Toronto, and I was really broke, and I ended up joining this Muay Thai gym because I felt really weak and helpless. And I joined, and I think after 6 months, they made me an assistant of the gym. And so basically, I taught the beginners class, and I locked up, and I cleaned the gym. And what I did, what happened was that they saw my work ethic, and they knew that I was trustworthy. So they gave me a gym to the key, and they told me, "Hey, come train for free because we know you're tight on money. In exchange, you teach the beginners class, and you mop the floor, and you clean the washroom." And I did that. I would clean the bathroom, I would mop the floor. At that time, I was 21. I didn't have any money, and I did that. And I was grateful. I was grateful that I had a chance to mop the floor and clean. And I got really busy with art school, so I left. I said, I can't do this anymore. I'm really sorry. I'm really busy with school. And then this other kid took over my job. And then after that, he became, the protege of the Thai box instructor. I left. You know what I mean? And so there's always opportunity to succeed. There's always opportunity to get things. You just have to put yourself out there, and you just have to be humble, and you just have to willing to do things and get your hands dirty. You know what I mean? When I graduated from fashion school, I was so desperate to get my foot in the door that I was willing to work for free because I wanted to learn from the best. And I said, let me work for free. I just want to hang out with you guys and learn how you guys do things. And people wouldn't do that because people didn't believe that someone's willing to work for free. So, getting back to my story about this guy. So he came and trained with me between the months of October till January. And it was just brutal. It was like family time, holiday, and he was just sucking up my time, my family time. And he was not grateful. And he thought he was going to be the next big thing. He thought he's going to be a professional fighter. He thought he's going to be the next UFC champ. So a lot of times, if you want to be successful, you got to do all these little micro movements, micro steps. You got to put in the time. If you're not winning fights, maybe you don't have the genetic, or maybe you're not working hard enough. Maybe you're not lifting weights. Okay. So this guy hates lifting weights. Just hates it. It's like you got to lift weights because lifting weight taxes your nervous system. It humbles you. All right. We're not talking about lifting weight as in making yourself look good, but lifting weights so that it taxes your nervous system, like the Olympic lifts, compound lifts. He would not skip ropes. He would skip rope. He'll skip for a little bit, he'll be exhausted. He would skip rope. He would hit the punching bags. You know what I mean? Just, it goes on and on and on. And so after he lost his second title fight, which I never signed him up for, I said, listen, man, you can't fight anymore. You need to spend at least 6 months with me, refining your fundamentals, and you got to start paying me tuition. All right, and basically he said no. He didn't want to do that. He didn't want to wait 6 months, and he didn't want to pay tuition because he felt like he was going to win all these title belts for me and shit like that. And so the another thing I want to tell people is that if you're not paying for something, you don't have a vested interest, right? And that's the problem I have with the welfare system or whatever, just giving money away for free. What happens? People, it's called the invisible hand or the invisible movement. People are constantly working, scheming to try to get ahead. But if you just give them stuff for free, they won't have that drive or that motivation. And then therefore, they won't value what you give them, right? You give them free stuff, they won't value it. They won't value it. So, very important, in the past, I used to give free gym membership, and I stopped doing it because like 99% of the people I gave to did not value it. I teach at full after school program, and almost all these kids don't value it. They don't. They'll come up to me, tell me they know this and that. Kids will tell me they're a black belt and this and that. That was just horrible, just horrible. And because I'm teaching these after-school programs, now granted, I get paid by the school, but these kids assume I'm doing it for free because they're getting it for free. But they don't understand that it costs something. You know what I mean? And my skill did not came from overnight. You know what I mean? Like the black belt, the style emotional I do is fighting style. Like you only can get a black belt if you can fucking fight. You can throw down. Anyways, I'm about 5 minutes from my after school program, so I'm gonna shut off this video. And it's just a lot of rambling. Hope you guys like it. And hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment.